action. Hi, my name is Akmal Nazrin Nazim. I'm from group My Vitabang. My topic is about racist, racist. I will tell about introduction first. Okay, firstly, racism is the belief that group of humans that possess different behaviors to trait corresponding to physical appearance and can be divided based on the superiority on one race or over another. May also prejudice, discrimination, and antagonism. Direct against other peoples because they are of different race and ethnicity. Modern variants of racism are often based in the social perception that of biological differences between peoples. Their view can take of the form of social action, practice, or belief, and a political system in which different races are ranked inherently superior or inferior to each other based on presumed shared irritable traits, abilities, and qualities. Racism is always awful, but still it happens in many different ways. I'll give you one point is they leave a bad comment in online on social platforms like IG, like Facebooks. Uh, it always happen to Malaysia. It's because some people would not to be tolerate some acting to do his culture. For example, which government is looking into the possibility for authorizing the Malaysia Communication Multimedia Commission MCMC to remove the fake news and racist posts from the social media. I will show you farm example to this picture that can show they are racist from the bad comment in social media platform. You see, guys. And conclusion is there is no perfect solution to the racism problems. Maybe it will exist for a long time now. The only thing we can do is to limit the extent and expansion. The best way to be not indifferent and start being well educated. We have to think twice before saying something offensive. Today in our social media has a lot about things racism. You are don't like some people other religious others nation, but you just damn bash in the comment. It's so bad. So we are Malaysian, we are one Malaysian, we are together, to build up the Malaysia to be a more effectively country and a good country. I hope we can do much better and be a good good peoples. We can build up ourselves to be nice and don't be a racist, because a racist is not good for us. We must start with our children and teach him to be not be racist and be friends to another religious like Chinese, Indian, Malay can be together, eat one table. We are Malaysian. Alright.
Hello everyone, I hope you're doing alright, because today I'm going to talk to you about racism. Racism has a huge negative impact on our lives, on our society, on our people that we love, plus on our moral codes. Let me tell you about what racism is. Racism is the belief that a particular race is superior or inferior to one another, that the person's social and moral traits are predetermined by his or her biological characteristics. Racism can also be defined as the belief that some races are better than others. For example, people who are racist don't like other races such as the skin color, language, custom, or the place of birth, etc. Racism has a huge negative impact, as I said, because it makes around us unconfident, that there will be no confidence between each other. There will be no love. There only just hate and hate. And that's the negative effect on our society. There have been historical racism in all over the world. Plus, our recent racism has been happening in America, like 2 months ago, has been spread all over the world. Racism in today's society is always the serious problem in every country. As I said, in America, although it's 21st century, the racism problem is still happening everywhere. Racism comes from different culture, values, ethics, background, as well as physical appearance. The conflict of racism might occur when the majority of people feels group of people feels that there's different culture and values of minority groups being that defines the society. Racism have been one of the most significant issues that people have been to face or have to face and fight for, and it is still occurring in our daily life, such in schools, in clubs, in everywhere. We have to find a solution. With the solution, people have been talking racism for centuries. People continue to be racist. How do we solve the problems? Everybody has been dealt with it. Politicians, spiritual leaders, community activities, activists, and the problem of racism continue. First, we have to admit that racism is a problem and that it's a psychosocial problem. But racists are like alcoholic anonymous and gamblers anonymous. We and first that we will have to admit that they have a problem and admit that they are out of control. Admit that they are out of control gamblers, but they can't solve the problem. The problem with racism and racism is that everybody denies it. Everybody is in denial. There are many ways to solve it. So I hope one day we can all live together without racism. That's my message. Thank you all.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Sharizuan. I want to talk about the effect of the racism to the individual. Okay, this racist behavior can cause many consequences to the victim emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Okay, the victim may experience the depression when it involves in this racist problem. If we encourage the victim to do dangerous things such as suicide, self-harassment, and many more. We have heard a lot of news about people who suicide because they have been treated very bad because of the difference they have with others such as skin color, religious, and many more. In addition, this racist culture will create a disharmony atmosphere in certain place. It can cause a riot, quarrel, and so on. Okay, for example, at the America, the riot has happened because the white skin policeman has killed the black people because of racism, and it has caused the angry of the citizen, and they made a riot to protest the policeman and force him to stop being a police because of racism. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Anas Azad. So, as we know, racism is a negative thing. Racism can come from many ways, like racism between white people and black people, racism in sport, Islamophobia, and many more. In this video, I want to focus about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is an international human rights movement rooted in African American society, campaigning against systemic violence and racism against black people. On 25 May 2020, George Floyd, a 46 years old black man, died in Minneapolis, United States of America, after white police officer Derek Chauvin knelt on his neck for almost 9 minutes as both his hands were handcuffed and he lay face down on the street. Because of this incident, there are large-scale demonstrations to protest. The demonstration cannot be controlled by the police and government, and very aggressive. Properties was burned by the demonstrators as a sign of their anger. Derek Chauvin and the other officer were fired, and Derek Chauvin was charged of third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. In my opinion, the issue of racism in USA is not a new thing because it happened many years ago. As Malaysians, we cannot judge 100% about racism in USA because it's not in our country. But as a human, we hope people stop racism.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hari ini saya akan interview seorang frontliner kita daripada APM daripada Melaka Tengah. Okey, Cik, sila perkenalkan diri dulu.
Okey, Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Saya PBT Hakim dari APM Melaka Tengah.
Okey, Cik, sekarang ni tajuk yang kami diberi iaitu racist. Sekarang ni kami nak Cik terangkan macam mana apa itu racist dan apakah keburukan dan kebaikan yang boleh Cik terangkan.
Okey, bagi pendapat saya racist ni ada kata kebaikan dia lah dan keburukan je. Okey, sebagai contohnya kebaikan pada pendapat saya racist ni adalah pengecaman terhadap kaum. Okey, sebagai contoh lah seseorang individu atau yang bukan sebangsa dengannya membuat kesalahan. Tetapi kesalahan dia tu dia klasifikasikan sebagai tak kisahlah berat ke tidak berat ke, tapi bila seseorang tu buat kesalahan dia akan mengibatkan, dia akan kelaskan sebagai kaum yang seumpama dengannya membuat kesalahan yang sama. Okey, sebagai contohnya bila seseorang tu melakukan kes bunuh, contoh saya bagi contoh dan contohlah kita ambil bangsa A. Okey, kita ambil bangsa A. Adakah bangsa A semua sama? Ada jenis orang kata okey, kalau kau ada bangsa A ni, kau perangai kau macam tu mesti sama. Okey, bagi pendapat saya racist ni patutlah kita elakkan. Sebab apa? Sebab ia terletak pada individu itu sendiri dan bukan kepada bangsa ataupun kaum serta agama. Satu lagi, sebab ini adalah ini ada personality diri orang tu sendiri yang melakukan kesalahan ataupun kebaikan. Itu adalah orang kata dia punya latar belakang dia, cara didikan dia atau cara dia membesar. Dia adalah manusia atau individu yang berbeza. Macam kami daripada Angkatan Pertahanan Awam Negeri Melaka, daerah Melaka Tengah, sebagai contoh kami melakukan membantu orang awam untuk kes-kes lain-lain kes ataupun kes-kes kecemasan. Okey, macam saya atau anggota-anggota lain yang seumpama melakukan membantu orang awam tidak mengira latar belakang. Kita sebagai manusia kita harus membantu.
Okey, seterusnya Cik boleh berikan kesimpulan atau pendapat yang lebih mendalam sikit tentang rasis ni. Maksudnya apakah kita harus atas pihak kerajaan atau mana pihak yang harus bertanggungjawab ke? Kita boleh komen sikit?
Okey, terhadap kaum itu. Maksudnya bila seseorang tu melakukan kesalahan, hanya dia sahaja yang melakukan kesalahan dan tidak melibatkan bangsa dia ataupun agama dia.
Okay, saranan cik kepada anak-anak muda sekarang ini tentang rasis?
Okey, pendapat saya untuk anak-anak muda ataupun kita sendirilah sebagai anak-anak muda,
Okey.
kita patut elakkanlah rasis ataupun berdendam terhadap sesuatu kaum ataupun bangsa dan agama. Sebab kita di Malaysia ni hidup dalam kelompok berbilang kaum. Kalau Sabah, Sarawak lagi pelbagai-bagai bangsa dan etnik yang ada. Jadi kita jangan jadi seperti negara-negara barat mempunyai rasis dengan kulit hitam ataupun kulit putih. Sebab kita Melayu, Cina, India adalah di bawah satu bumbung.
Kita satu Malaysia. Okey, itu saja daripada kami. Terima kasih Cik kerana beri kerjasama. Kami dari UMP, para pelajar UMP daripada kos soft skill mengucapkan terima kasih kepada APM. Terima kasih Cik. Cik, stay at home. Hi everyone. My next interview is from my friends from Melaka. Is Mr. Amni. He works at the Family Mart from Melaka. Today I would like to ask him about himself first, and he will introduce himself first.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Hamni bin Rosli. I'm from Melaka. I'm 23 years old, and now I'm working at Family Mart Melaka as a management. Okay, that's all.
Okay. First of all, I will ask you, what do you think about racism? Can you tell us about racism?
Okay, racist. For me, racist is a group of humans that have a different behavior trait corresponding to another race, for example, another race or religion. Nowadays, we know that around the world, the racist is quite strong between the white skin and the black skin.
Okay. Okay. Alright, Mr. Amni, can you tell me some example about the racist that you told us about what is the meaning of racist? Now you can give some example.
Sure. For me, one example that we can go through as a Malaysian in our country is when race of India go for the perayaan Thaipusam. So we know the Thaipusam is one of the perayaan of India race. So you know when the Thaipusam is held, they will full the road because they want go to one temple to another temple for do their religion. Their religion, you know, religion that
we call it their prayer for his God.
They pray for them God. So you know, the user of the road is not all the Indian. We as a Malaysian, we got three race: Malaysia, Melayu, India, and China. For me, it's about race, and we as Malaysian must live in one community. So, as Melayu or Chinese, we don't example such example don't push the horn button to them when them in the road lah, because they go for their perayaan. So we must
give respect.
Yes, give respect to the religion, because we are one Malaysia.
One Malaysia, alright. Because they are not be the user of the road is not comfortable, right?
Yep, sure.
So that's all for example for you.
Yep, that's all.
Okay, Mr. Amni, my last question is what is your conclusion about the racism?
Okay, for the conclusion, is I think the racist is not a part, a good part must be have in in one country, because they can be exposed the country to the world, and the world will make it, the country is so bad because of the racist. For me, the best way to defend the racist is, start from parents. It start being well educated
Yeah.
from child, because most of the child, most of the child, yeah, is stay with their parents. So, from small, we must educate them to not racist to all people, because we must be responsibility, and we must live in harmony in our country. So there is no life of racist around the world. Okay.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you, Mr. Amni, for you
Welcome.
take your time to my interview. So UMP would like to tell you thanks so much, and stay safe for the COVID-19.
All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.
So, for the conclusion, racism has to be multifaceted, all-inclusive, and open-minded effort promulgated by all walks of life. The first step in this evolution in the breaking circle of racism is hate, cycle of hatred being instilled in our youth. None of us are born with hatred in our hearts. Breaking the cycle and changing the way we always done things is a paradigm shift which would have to embraced by everyone. The next important part in our life is including in concluding the racism has to be realization by historically default population that while we may feel strongly against racism and despise what it represents, none of us truly grasps what it feels like to be treated less because of the color of our skin. We can see in the between the white privilege and black, like happened to the George in recently. We can see that police in US are very racism. Even the police are racist to the black people out there. So this most heartbreaking things that happened in 2020, and we can see that many people had died because of the racism things in US. So I won't go into the weeds with the statistic of jail population, unemployment or underemployment or a race profile of white versus the minorities. But I think anyone who is honest with themselves know the statistics are not representative of equality or equitable treatment of minority. I could probably fill several screens with all of the way we need to change to meditate racism. But before we can successfully put racism behind us, we must stop looking the other way or we can see or hear it. So in Al-Quran also I have said that we oh man we create ladies and men, tribes and many more so that we can know each other. In Al-Quran which is in ayat 49 in surah 13. So in conclusion, we cannot despise of the others such as like a Chinese with the Cantonese slang or like the Indian in their accent. Many people were born that way and we can't treat them like we are the perfect one. We must treat them equally and together we need to build a good relationship for a better future. We can see that in like 13 May in Malaysia, that was the darkest things happened in Malaysia. There were many blood will fall because of this racism thing. So we must avoid this thing to help our children live in peacefully country and we can
move to a better future.